Hello and welcome back to your Storycast, the podcast where we share your stories, your memories, and your moments. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Jamie. We've got a brilliant story today that perfectly captures that weird and wonderful humor you only seem to get with grandparents. It's a mix of funny and nostalgic, which is my favorite combination.
Absolutely. This one comes from Sammy, and it's about her and her friend Rosie. They were in their late 20s, living the London life, and decided to take a little nostalgia trip back to where they were born, Colchester.
A little trip down memory lane. They stayed with Sammy's granddad, who fussed over them. They hit the town, saw the castle. You know, the full tourist experience in your own hometown.
Exactly. But, as is often the case, the most memorable moments aren't the planned ones. The next day, feeling a pang of grandchild guilt, Sammy suggested they pop in on her other set of grandparents.
Oh, the classic double grandparent weekend. A brave move. Rosie, being a top-tier friend, was totally on board with visiting more elderly relatives.
So they go to see Sammy's maternal nan and grandpa. And apparently, these two were masters of the long, rambling story that only starts the second you're trying to walk out the door.
Laughs. I know that move well. You've got your keys in your hand, you're halfway into your coat, and suddenly they launch into a dramatic tale.
That is precisely what happened. Sammy's grandpa is looking out the window, spots a neighbor, Sue, and starts grumbling about her size, which, Sammy notes, was pretty rich coming from him, considering his own kids living with him were on the larger side. The classic pot-kettle-black situation.
Oh, grandfatherly hypocrisy, it's a genre all its own. So Sammy calls him out on it?
She does. And her grandpa, without missing a beat, leans in and says, Well, you should hear what that one did on our coach holiday.
Chuckles. I love that. Not even Sue, just that one. The drama. Okay, I'm hooked. What did that one do?
This is where it gets good. So the grandparents had recently been on a coach trip with this very neighbor. Before they went, they had to declare their dietary requirements. You know, the usual stuff. Nan is a vegetarian, grandpa is diabetic.
Standard, sensible, makes sense.
On the first night of the trip, they're having their dinner, maybe some fish and chips, and grandpa notices that Sue has brought her meal, plus a little extra side plate. And on that plate, 2 sausages.
Okay, a bit weird. Maybe she was just really hungry, or a secret sausage enthusiast?
That's what he thought. How strange, he mumbled. Didn't realize that was an option. The next night, they're having chicken korma. And what appears on a little side plate for Sue?
Don't say it.
2 sausages.
Laughing. No, with a korma? That's a culinary crime.
Nan clocked it this time, thinking, that's just bizarre. By the third night, they were both watching, and like clockwork, her main meal arrives with a side of 2 sausages. They had to investigate. They found out that when the tour company asked for dietary requirements, Sue had declared hers.
Let me guess. She's allergic to everything except sausages?
Even better. Her official, declared dietary requirement was 2 sausages with every meal.
Are you kidding me? That is audacious. That is genius. The sheer nerve to just write that down and expect it to be honored.
And the best part is, the company just did it. They didn't question it. They didn't say, ma'am, that's not a dietary requirement. That's just a weird request. They just dutifully provided 2 sausages with every single meal.
I am in awe of that one. Imagine her with a delicate sea bass fillet and 2 hefty bangers on the side. It's performance art.
Sammy said she and Rosie were literally crying with laughter as her grandparents told this story with such animated, dramatic flair. And the image is just perfect.
It really is. And Sammy mentions that her grandpa has sadly passed away since then, which makes the memory even more special.
It does. It's not just a funny story about a weird neighbor anymore. It's the memory of her grandfather's brilliant storytelling, the sound of his laughter, and sharing that moment of pure, unexpected joy with him and her best friend Rosie. It's those quirky, hilarious little moments that stick with you forever.
Absolutely. Here's to grandparents' stories, and to declaring your dietary requirement as 2 sausages with every meal. May we all be that bold.
A huge thank you to Sammy for sharing that fantastic memory with us and with Rosie. We're raising a metaphorical sausage in your grandpa's honor. Join us next time for another episode of Your Storycast.